When a woman blatantly ignores you, leaves your messages on read, looks away when she sees you, or acts like you're just another lamppost on the street, it's not a coincidence. She's right there, in the front row, waiting for your reaction. She wants to see you like a lost puppy, full of insecurity, begging for any crumb of attention. This is the most predictable and overused trick that most women pull. They want to see you crawling, showing that her actions hit you hard. But here's the surprise. When a man doesn't fall for that cheap trap, acting in a completely unexpected way with 7 strategic moves, this woman will be more lost than a blind person in a shooting range. Because, surprise, she never imagined you could have that kind of composure. She's there, waiting for you to beg and chase. But you turn into a wall she can't tear down, no matter how many tantrums and tricks she tries. Want to know what these 7 moves are that will make her brain do a 180 and leave her obsessed? Then click the like button now, before you forget and get left behind. Because I'm going to show you how to turn the tables in a way she'd never see coming. Let's get straight to the point. Number 1, let's see if she doesn't pull away even faster. When someone's avoiding you and you, with all the shamelessness in the world, keep pursuing them, the only thing that's going to happen is that they'll run away faster than a rabbit on hunting day. It's a rule so obvious that it hurts. Want an example? If you sit next to someone who clearly has the "I don't want anyone near me" face, what do you think is going to happen? That person is going to disappear from your sight in a matter of seconds. Why? Because no one likes having their space invaded by a desperate person who can't take a no, even if it's flashing in neon lights right in front of them. Chasing after a woman who's ignoring you? Congratulations, champ. You've just won the Biggest Idiot of the Year award. Want to know what's going to happen? She'll give you another good dose of the cold shoulder and pull away even more. Wake up. Trying to hold on to what's slipping away is shooting yourself in the foot and then complaining that it hurts. Want to be smart? Disappear, vanish like a ghost, leave her there, lost in her own little world. Don't be the idiot who tries to force the situation down her throat. Because many times the problem isn't you, but guess what? You become the problem with this clingy and ridiculous behavior. I won't say her behavior is right, but it's a fact. When someone's in crisis, everything and everyone around them becomes hell. And in that hell, the last thing they need is a clueless person trying to invade their space. So do this. Don't be the pet dog she left at the door. Don't waste saliva, time, or dignity asking for attention. Leave her there to sort herself out. And on the day when everything falls apart, she'll realize that she lost someone who had the right stance. Your coldness and indifference will hit her harder than any sermon. And believe me, it'll burn more than boiling oil. The lesson is this: don't play the fool. Number 2. Oh, she ignored you. Great. Now do yourself a favor and stop acting like nothing happened. If a woman is ignoring you for no reason, just to toy with you and see you squirming in anguish, it's crucial that she feels that her actions have consequences. What do many guys do when finally, after days in limbo, they get a hey from that woman? They melt, shower her with affection, as if she were a saint who came down from heaven to bless them with a simple greeting. How pathetic. This is the perfect formula for failing miserably. With that attitude, you're telling her, without even opening your mouth, that it's okay to be treated as a second option, that being ignored is acceptable, that you have zero dignity to defend. And then, my friend, you hand her the knife and the cheese to cut you again and again. She'll keep walking all over you because she already knows that in the end, you'll be there, with open arms and a stupid smile on your face. Now, if you change the game and show that you're no longer that needy fool who accepts everything in silence, the story flips. When she shows up as if nothing happened, it's essential that she finds a man completely different from the one she left behind. That loving, eager guy. Throw him in the trash! Be cold, distant. Don't accept crumbs and definitely don't accept flimsy excuses. Conversations from now on should be as direct as a job interview. No smiles, no showing affection. Be polite, but don't give the impression that you're available at her whim. Make it clear that you've changed, that now she'll have to work to regain the attention she threw away. If she left you on red for hours or days, now it's your turn to do the same. Show that you also know how to be indifferent, that you have a life to live, and that she's not the center of your universe. Let it burn in her mind that from now on, it won't be you rolling out the red carpet for her to parade on. Let it be clear, either she changes her behavior, or she'll spend a long time waiting for you. Number 3, disappear from the map. Are you really going to give her that satisfaction? After getting a solid cold shoulder, many guys decide to play ninja. They disappear from social media, drop off the radar, and think it's going to make a difference. Poor souls. What you're doing is practically a fireworks show to show how deeply hurt you are. By disappearing, you're making it clear that she hit you hard, like she knocked the ground out from under you. She'll understand your disappearance as a big, "I care so much about what you did that I'm going to hide in the deepest hole I can find." Want to be strategic? Keep showing up and living your life like nothing happened. This doesn't mean you'll be stalking her, liking every photo, commenting on every post, or being present like a needy ghost. None of that. Just show that the world didn't stop spinning because she decided to ignore you. Post your accomplishments, share what you're doing, show that life goes on, full and happy, without her presence. Disappearing is handing the game to her on a silver platter and showing that she has power over you, like you're a puppet she controls. Now, if she sees that you're still there, posting, smiling, and living, without shedding a single tear of desperation, that's when chaos begins. She'll wonder why you're not crying in the corners like she expected. She'll twist in doubt, wondering if her plan to ignore you was a total miss. And that's exactly what you want. To provoke that insecurity she thought was only in you. To show that you're not some poor sap who hides at the first sign of contempt. That you're a man with a life of his own and that nothing, absolutely nothing, can make you disappear like a spoiled child. This is the key to making her lose it and wonder if her little game actually worked or if she underestimated your resilience. Showing that you're moving forward without a scratch is like throwing a bucket of cold water on her ego. And believe me, that'll reignite her interest in you faster than any sudden disappearance. Number 4, she ignored you? Great. Now go out and show her you're not wasting time. There's nothing that crushes a woman's inflated ego more than seeing the guy she decided to ignore start going out with other women. The last thing she expects when she throws you into limbo is to see you opening new horizons. What she really wants is to see you sitting there, wallowing in what you did wrong, crawling for explanations like a good, repentant little boy. Often, the reason behind the cold shoulder is pure jealousy, a childish tantrum because she didn't like something you did, or worse, a pathetic game to see if you'll bend to her whims. But look, when I decide to show that you're not up for nonsense, that you won't waste time with kiddie tantrums and instead go out, meet other women, and live new experiences, the game flips. She feels the blow as if she'd been punched in the gut. All that attitude she had loses its effect in the blink of an eye because you've proven you're not a fool on a leash. That you're not going to sit there wasting away, waiting for her to decide whether to give you a chance or not. Want to act immature? Go ahead. Because I'm already out there living my life and meeting those who truly treat me right. When you show that you're willing to explore other options, it becomes crystal clear that she's not the only fish in the pond. And that's when reality hits her. The value of being with you isn't just about being next to her, but finding someone who truly values you. If she thought you'd stay there with a puppy-eyed look, she's dead wrong. Showing that you don't give a damn about her inflated ego and won't waste a single second chasing her is the best way to break the pattern and make her question every ridiculous attitude she's ever taken. Did she ignore you? Great. Now go out and show her you're more interested in living your life than playing emotional hide-and-seek. The truth is, when a woman realizes that you're not going to beg for her love, that you're already out there meeting new people and having fun, her ego shatters. And that's exactly what will make her think 2, 3, or even 10 times before trying to manipulate you again. If you're tired of being treated like an idiot, being the doormat she steps on and then throws away without a second thought, then it's time to wake up. Take a look at the digital book linked in the description of this video. After reading it, you'll learn how to be cold and calculating, to never allow disrespect, and to master the art of putting any woman in her place. Stop swallowing disrespect and humiliation. Start being the man she not only respects, but is afraid of losing. Now's the time to flip the script. It's time to get your life in order once and for all. Number 5, she ignored you? Forget it and focus on what really matters. Listen, when a guy gets ignored, the first thing he does is cling to that situation like it's the most important thing in the world. He wants answers. He wants explanations. He wants to solve the problem at any cost. The result? He becomes obsessed, like a desperate man who needs validation just to breathe. And you know what she thinks when she sees this?
Here we go. Another needy guy who can't handle a simple no. You throw yourself into the pit of insignificance without even realizing it, just to show her that she has you in the palm of her hand.
Want some advice? Shift your focus away from that problem and stop wasting energy on someone who's not worth even half the effort. Forget the idea of wanting to fix everything and focus on what really matters. Yourself. A man of value isn't the one who gets a yes in every situation, but the one who, upon hearing a no, responds with intelligence and maturity. So, if things aren't flowing, instead of acting like a firefighter running to put out a fire, change your priorities. Invest in yourself, your personal development, in the things that make you feel good and put you on top. If she really cares, she'll realize you're not a trained puppy waiting at the ready. She'll want to know what's going on. She'll try to get close again. And if she doesn't notice, perfect. It's a clear sign that you should move on with much more freedom to find someone who truly values you as you deserve. Because at the end of the day, the one who ends up alone is the one who wants to be. So, stop banging your head against the same wall. If a woman ignores you, act like it's the least important thing in the world. Control your emotions, get your head straight, and show yourself that you know exactly what you're doing. Value yourself and never, under any circumstance, let someone else's immature behavior determine your worth. You're more than a cheap game for attention, and you need to start acting like it. Number 6, emotionally indifferent? That's right. Show her you don't care about games. Indifference is the cannon shot to the inflated ego of someone who thinks they can manipulate you. It's the most powerful weapon you have when a woman decides to ignore you, thinking she'll make you her emotional puppet. This means that, no matter the show she puts on, you'll stay firm, calm as a monk, and completely detached. Because the truth is, when you show yourself to be unshakable, you become someone she absolutely cannot control. Want to know more? She's more than used to seeing guys react like little boys when they're ignored. Anger, sadness, blocking her, and dramatic rants as if it were the latest soap opera. They'll do anything to get attention, and guess what? They lose all control. But when you demonstrate that nothing, absolutely nothing she does shakes your peace, the situation changes. She starts realizing that no matter how much she pulls the strings, you won't budge an inch. Now, I'm not saying to be an iceberg 24/7, but she needs to see that your life doesn't revolve around her. Keep up with your hobbies, go out, interact with other people, and show that your emotional balance is as solid as a rock and only depends on you. When she notices that your response to her antics is absolute indifference, she'll have no idea what to do. It creates a mystery, a curiosity that runs through her mind like poison, eating away at every attempt to maintain control of the situation. And that's when the game flips. She wonders whether it's worth continuing to ignore you, or if she needs to change her strategy. After all, no one likes being ignored by someone they thought they were ignoring. Get the irony? You leave her so confused that, suddenly, the one seeking attention is her. So, be unshakable, firm, and calm, as if nothing in the world could throw you off balance. Show that you're the master of your emotions and that no cheap game is enough to make you stumble. This unwavering calm is what separates the emotional puppets from those who control the board. Let it be clear, you're the one calling the shots now. Number 7. She challenged you? Perfect. Now show her you don't fall for cheap provocations. When a woman decides to challenge you, and yes, ignoring you is a challenge too, she expects you to react. It's like throwing logs on the fire and waiting to see the blaze start. She wants to see if she can make you lose your temper, see if she can make you explode, watching you eat out of her hand, begging to understand what you did wrong. She wants the whole show with drama and crocodile tears. And you know what you're going to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because whoever loses control first loses the game. The move here is not to give her the satisfaction. If the woman is waiting for a show, the response she should get is dead silence. Let her scream alone on stage, like a frustrated actress trying to get applause from an empty audience. Don't give in to the challenge, because whoever gives in lowers themselves to her level. If she's throwing subtle jabs, acting like the queen of contempt, you respond with a calm and indifferent, okay. Because guess what? Your reaction can't be bought with cheap provocations. While she's waiting to see you squirm, thinking about how to respond, you're already living your life like nothing happened. Show that there's nothing she can do to throw you off. Want to be cold? Be cold. Want to ignore? Fine. Meanwhile, you keep going, as if dealing with a 5-year-old trying to make you lose your patience. This is the message that should be engraved in her mind. You don't fall, you don't react, and you don't step down from your pedestal for anything. If she wants to see you stoop, she'll get tired of waiting because her game doesn't work here. This way, not only do you keep your dignity intact, but you also make it clear that there's no challenge or provocation that will make you bow your head. And you know what happens to a woman who sees you as unshakable? She gets obsessed, because deep down, that was exactly the strength she was trying to test. And now she realizes she underestimated you. Number 8. Still begging for attention? Wake up, man! You're drowning! Look, my friend, if after everything I've said, you're still insisting on begging for attention, then let me be very clear. The problem isn't her, it's you. Seriously, stop playing the victim and admit it. If you're crawling, asking for answers, it's because you've gotten used to living like a guy who doesn't value himself. And you know what? That's pathetic. You still don't understand that the biggest mistake a man can make is allowing himself to be treated like a broken toy that she can toss aside and pick up again whenever she feels like it. If you keep struggling, trying to strike up a conversation, going after a woman who clearly doesn't give a damn about you, then you've already lost. You've lost her respect. You've lost your own respect. And you're one step away from losing whatever's left of your dignity. But you know what's worse? You're doing this to yourself. She didn't destroy you. You're destroying yourself. So, enough already. Get up from that pathetic position. Stop playing the fool and put an end to this story. Did she ignore you? Great. Understand that this doesn't mean you should beg for crumbs. Because in the end, what she's doing is testing you, seeing how far your limits go. And every unanswered message, every "hey stranger" you send her, you're only confirming one thing. You have no limits. And a man without limits is someone who accepts everything and is worth nothing. Want to be respected? Then respect yourself first. Delete her number, block her if necessary, and send that emotional garbage straight to hell. Don't be afraid to turn your back on someone who's trampling on your value. Because you know what's worse than being ignored? Being ignored and accepting it as if nothing happened. Understand this. A man who doesn't know how to put an end to a situation and move forward as if nothing happened is a man who's going to be ignored for the rest of his life. And in the end, you know who's going to win in this whole story. Her. Because she'll have managed to turn you into exactly what she wanted, an emotional doormat. So the next time you feel the temptation to go after her, slap yourself in the face and remember this. You don't deserve to be treated like an option. And if she doesn't see you as a priority, the best thing you can do is show her your disdain. Turn your back and let her eat dust. Be a real man and stop begging for respect. The respect you want from her starts with the respect you give yourself. Understand one thing once and for all. Your value doesn't depend on what she thinks of you, but on what you think of yourself. Stop belittling yourself. Stop seeking approval from someone who only puts you down and ignores your existence. Are you a man or a puppet without a personality? If you keep accepting crumbs, you risk being treated like that by everyone around you. It's simple. Whoever accepts little receives the bare minimum. Whoever doesn't value themselves gets trampled on. From now on, stop being the puppy barking for attention and become the lone wolf who only walks beside those who deserve his presence. Because in the end, only those who impose respect are respected. Stop crawling and remember, the greatest victory you can have is mastering yourself and not allowing anyone, absolutely anyone, to dictate how you should feel. And that's it. If you still think you'll get something by begging, it's because you didn't understand anything I've said so far. So take control, stop being a pawn, and start being the man who sets his own rules. If you liked the video and finally woke up to reality, you know what to do. Click the like button, subscribe, and share with those who need this slap in the face. See you in the next video, where you'll learn never to let anyone step all over you again.